There we go. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Dynasty, we have the South Korean Terran player, the blue Terran representing Shopify Rebellion. It is ByuN. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have the South Korean Zerg player, the red Zerg representing Diamond Gladiators. It is SHIN. We go. And if you're in the chat, you know what time it is to get your Gamba going, because predictions are open. Place your bets on how you think the series will unfold. Best of luck. Best of luck in the chat with your predictions, with your Gamba. As we do have a rematch here again. SHIN previously did take down ByuN 3-0 in a best of 5, but that was a couple of weeks ago. I'm sure ByuN wants his revenge. On top of that, we're loading into Dynasty, a very often vetoed map in the map pool. I bring this up all the time when casting SHIN. SHIN is one of the few Zerg players that very often doesn't veto this map in all matchups. SHIN, he embraces Dynasty for good and for bad. I'm not too fond of it, but yeah, SHIN, for some reason, he does embrace Alkion in best of 3s and best of 5s and all these other best of series, and he has mixed success. We very often see all-ins and more aggressive play out of SHIN on this map, and that's a little bit more obvious as well. As yeah, we'll see what SHIN has in store for us. Like, for example, we have seen SHIN all in the hell out of Clem and actually beat Clem on Dynasty. ByuN as well, with like Roach all-ins and Roach aggression. That's kind of what I'm leaning towards, but we'll see. As ByuN is going for the Rax expand into a second Rax behind this, so it is going to be a 2-1-1 setup out of ByuN. Going for the gold, and again, this gold base can't really be punished. There's a reason why this map is very often vetoed by Zerg players. It's because the gold base can be quite difficult to actually take advantage of. Meanwhile, ByuN moving out, ByuN checking the gold base, has not been taken. Oh, no, he finds the drone! But if he does find the drone, will delay the third. So far, good pick off here by ByuN. Moves out across the map. SHIN is going to be stuck on 2 bases and contained for that much longer. Going to be contained. Drone moves out to take the third. Will now expand. Going to be a later third base. SHIN actually going for the gold. Bold move. Oh, okay. Never mind. He thinks better of it. Going for the standard third base expansion. SHIN scouts. He does confirm the 2-1-1. I do like that SHIN doesn't go for the gold base. I feel like a 2-1-1 would be like a hard counter and would just kill SHIN. It would just pull him apart completely. Defending such a fringe location against a 16 Marine double medevac drop, it would be insane. So SHIN goes for the standard base. Likewise, ByuN going for his own starport. A straight up 2-1-1 as well. There's no third CC, not yet. So very aggressive here. And we'll see what ByuN can get done as he moves out. Meanwhile, SHIN trying to stabilize, droning up. Taking his third. And he is aware that he has a period, he has a window where he can drone. Now, what's interesting about this build as well for ByuN is it is powered by the gold base, so it is going to hit a little bit harder, I would imagine. I'm curious how it impacts the timing of this build. As Marines are amassing. Getting up to 14 Marines. Medevacs are on the way. Stim is almost done, and ByuN will soon move out. Meanwhile, SHIN, he still has a little bit of time to drone. He is going to be droning up. Saturating his bases. Roach Warren's on the way, so he's going for a Roach defense. Interesting. Not for a +1 carapace. I mean, we have mentioned before, and we even spoke about it at the start of the game, SHIN is often one to embrace Roaches in this matchup, on this map specifically on Dynasty. Is a Roach boy. Marines have arrived. SHIN bringing his queens together. How many queens? It's going to be 8 queens. And soon to be 40 lings. That should be enough. ByuN does stim. For the 4th. Dropping into the main. Is going to be spotted. SHIN does rotate. Oh, this choke point is brutal though. And SHIN can't fully engage. Trying to lure the army in. So far, ByuN being patient. Does unload. Shin goes for the surround. ByuN gets away. So far, so good. So far, Shin, he's defending, he's holding, saturating his bases, taking extra gases, embracing roach production, of course. Likewise, ByuN going into his third CC. Marines, they take down the gas geyser. Not a bad pickup. Gas geyser goes down, will delay roach production. Now the question becomes, is Shin gonna drone? He has gone up to, what, just over 2 base saturation. But he is amassing roaches. And will Shin stop? Will he stop roach production or will he commit? Roach speed is on the way. More roaches in production, but there we go. A handful of drones are on the way as well. So Shin, he's not going for an all-in. He's droning. Shin is droning up. ByuN moving out with another double drop. Shin, he finally catches 2 Marines. An okay pickup. 2 Marines go down. Another Marine as well. Shin, he's holding his own, but here comes another double drop, and Shin not quite ready for this. Gets an Overlord. Supply blocking Shin. Oh. Shin still supply block, dropping into the main base. The Lings, they will be able to keep up, and the Marines don't actually get too much damage. Oh, the Maverick's getting very low. ByuN does get away. Shin, for the time being, embracing roach production. Also on range. Base of production as well. So far, Shin is holding. His goal here, I would imagine, is just to defend, fortify himself, get up to 4 base saturation. 4th base is on the way. Can't quite take the gold, though. And Shin taking it to the infestation pit. With this, he can go for infestors. Or just the hive. He has options. Keeping up with the Marines. So far, so good. Trying to keep up. Meanwhile, ByuN is actually moving out with the committed move outs. This time, not just Marines, with the tank as well. Yeah, the tanks are moving out. ByuN pushing towards the 4th. The creep is a little bit lackluster here, especially through the center of the map. Creep is lacking. Shin out of position. Has to respond. The main army is spotted. Shin trying to come in from behind. A lot of creep is denied. And ByuN doesn't commit. Likewise, not a bad fight for ByuN either. Up against the wall, he denies us around. Just a really awkward engagement here by Shin. ByuN just being as efficient as possible. And Shin is about to max out. He's maxing out on Ling Bane Roach Ravager. Bailing speed has still just began though, so still a ways off. ByuN establishing his 4th CC. Now this 4th base is very wide open. It's very vulnerable to something like a Roach all-in or Roach aggression. So Shin's goal is to knock down that 4th. We'll see if he can. Tank line is setting up. Center tower as well. Shin is maxed. The job's still being so annoying here for Shin. Here we go. He's getting ready for his push. Job's still being active. Bearing in mind that Shin has no anti-air. He only has queens. So he has no secure way to deal with these drops. Nice, another expansion. Oh my god, takes down so many Lings as well. And it looks like Shin is going to be actually waiting for his Viper attack. 3 Vipers are on the way. Hive is done. And with the help of Vipers, I mean, this position is not much weaker, of course. ByuN instead going to be the first to move out. Pushing onto creep. And a lot of choke points here. To avoid this round, instead, SHIN going for a Roach counterattack. Takes down the sensor tower. Pushing towards the CC. That's a kill, not a cancel. 400 minerals down the drain. Not bad. Let's get a pick up. Likewise, ByuN pushing in. Going for a split push, forcing a cancel. Vipers have arrived. A bold move. They're going for the tanks. They get one. They get one blinding cloud. They get the other as well. And they're going towards the end. A nice clean up here by SHIN, but at the same time, ByuN is going for the mineral line, and he will get it. 6 drones go down. 7 drones. Oh my god. Getting up to 17. 17 drones going down. Brutal losses. Oh, and the expansion as well. Ay, ay, ay. And SHIN is being torn apart. I mean, you can see just how awkward and how difficult it is for SHIN to actually defend against these drops. To maneuver between these bases. ByuN has the high ground. Whilst they raise the medevac. Oh, does go down. Finally, one medevac falls. And SHIN is pretty committed. He's pretty all in. SHIN, he's on 66 drones and he's maxed out. So what you see is what you get. SHIN doesn't really have much of a bank to work with. But he does have ultras. No kindness plating though. Uh-oh. So no upgrades here for the ultras. But they're pushing in. No armor upgrades. Bailings, they do get towards the mineral line. And they get a handful of SCVs. Planetary does stand strong. Ultras trying to push in, but again, the ultras are so fragile. Decent abductions, but it looks like ByuN holds. Yeah, he does hold on, shuts down the ultras. And GG gets called. It's just too much, and ByuN will take game number 1. GG. GG, well played. ByuN, his own economy, his own bases were pretty untouched. He was able to maintain himself. His gold base, his 3rd, his 4th as well. SHIN was trying to go for some later timing with Vipers, of course, and eventually Ultras, but he never got into his Ultra upgrades because he was all in. He was just torn apart, losing far too many workers, far too many bases. The drop player of ByuN popped off. On top of that, the map also assisted ByuN as well. SHIN just having a very hard time keeping up with the multi-pronged aggression, dipping in between the bases, between his main, his 4th especially. GG. GG, well played. ByuN does take a lead. And can he take the series, as we can now kind of step away? Oh, good. We can now step away from... we can step away from Dynasty and hopefully conclude the series. So a bit of a feels bad, man. Oh, never mind. Let's go. Shout out to the players. Big shout out. Okay, so we were actually left out of the lobby. We were left out of the game, and I was about to cut to a break, not gonna lie. I was about to cut to a break here because we were left out of game 2, but they have remade the lobby, and we're in. Oh, thank God. Thank God. We did make it in. And we're getting into game 2 on post-youth. God, these maps. Crazy. Here we go. We are loading into post-youth here as game 2, and spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have our South Korean Terran player, the Blue Terran representing Shopify Rebellion, leading the series 1-0. Unamas, one more is all he needs to make it to the grand finals. It is ByuN. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, going for a 15 hatch, we have the South Korean Zerg player, the Red Zerg representing Gaiman Gladiators. It is SHIN. And the last time these two played on this map, SHIN rushed into the gold as his natural. Not even as his third, but as his natural base. This time, okay, going for the much more standard base instead. He's a little bit less crazy, calming things down. Going for the in-base natural instead. And we'll see how SHIN does approach this. Likewise, ByuN as well. As we are going for the 15 hash. 15-15. Safe opener out of SHIN. Meanwhile, ByuN going for a Rax expand. Honestly, it's been a while since I've seen ByuN go 2 Rax Reaper. It's been a month, 2 months. It's been quite some time since ByuN has really embraced that more aggressive style. Has fallen by the wayside, kind of out of meta. Instead, going for something more standard here. As a reminder, last game, ByuN did open up 2-1-1 with the faster drop play with the Marines. I mean, he achieved so much with it, trading so well, whether it's Lings, Roaches, Drones, Overlords. ByuN did pop off. And we'll see how SHIN responds. Settling in. SHIN going for the third. Reaper moves out. SHIN should be able to expand. And we'll see if ByuN can get a worker, can wreak havoc. SHIN in position. Reaper does get in though. Slips into the main. Gets a Ling. One Ling goes down. Queen has arrived. SHIN will defend. SHIN holds. Does hold. And this time ByuN is going for a faster factory. So there's no 2-1-1 this time. There's no heavy bio aggression. Instead we have ByuN going for something more economic, going for a third CC before starport. So much more standard play out of ByuN here in game 2. And ByuN actually mixing it up a little bit here, going double Cyclone. Okay, I mean, we saw this last night with Clem. Clem also playing double Cyclone into Hellion. Just a way to be a little bit more assertive early on, hunt down Overlords, threaten the Queens. See what ByuN can get done. Now, as a reminder, SHIN did shut this down. If you were here last night, you would have seen SHIN defeat Clem in the TvZ Monday. SHIN having a crazy upset. Meanwhile, I assumed it was going to be double Cyclone into Hellion, but no, it's double Cyclone into an add-on swap. Bold move. I mean, these Cyclones, they're very vulnerable, very exposed. As ByuN does find an Overlord. Does it get to the pillar? Up! Up! Does it? Oh my god! Whew. 5 HP! One escapes, the other less so. Yeah, the second Overlord is going to go down. I guess the first. Does he scan? No shot. He's thinking about it. He does! He scans! He gets a creep tumor, and he should get the Overlord as well, just barely. And the Overlord goes down as well. Ay, 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 the value scan. 2 Overlords, 2 creep tumors. ByuN backs off. Back at home. Of course, remember, it was an economic opener, 3rd CC. ByuN will soon get his base up and running. Meanwhile, SHIN is trying to stabilize, getting into Roach play. Roach is not quite moving out yet. Taking more defensive stance. The Roaches are spotted. ByuN pulling back. Let's pull back home, catching another Overlord with the CC. Oh my god. The value of these Cyclones. 3 Overlords. 3 Overlords so far. Pulling back to the bio. Yeah, the Roaches, they don't get any damage whatsoever. 2 more Roaches falling. And ByuN is going to chase this down, punishing SHIN's move outs. Yeah, punishing it quite hard. And SHIN is in trouble. He's racing back, amassing more roaches. Does have full 3-way saturation, but he needs a 4th. Oh, actually going for the 4th at the gold location. Oh, has to kill his own tumor. Slightly delayed. But the 4th is on the way, and if SHIN can get this gold base up and running, then he can, bounce back. He can hold his own. He can overwhelm. But it's easier said than done. And the problem here with this gold is it is very exposed. There's high ground right next to it, so brutal tank positionings. Likewise, can be surrounded, attacked from either side. We'll see if SHIN can hold. Speaking of ByuN, he has eyes on that gold base. Leads out the first Cyclone. He sims in. Catching so many fresh tumors. And SHIN should have enough to deflect. Does hold. Gets to finally the second Cyclone. Second Cyclone goes down, picking up a stray Marine. ByuN getting into drop play. Safety infestors are on the way. I do actually like this. If you remember last game, SHIN actually skipped infestors, but with fungal growths, he can try to lock down these medevacs a little bit easier, a little bit sooner. So SHIN is just playing a much more safer style this time. Still Roach Ravager, but he's not rushing to Hive anywhere near as quickly, or into Vipers. Meanwhile, back at home, ByuN is looking quite heavily fortified. He's got his tank lines, 4 CCs on the way, moving out with a second double drop, looking very similar to game 1. Here comes the first fungal. Oh my god, and so many Marines go down. This is what we spoke about. Double drop hits the gold, going for the expansion, doesn't quite get it. And SHIN is keeping up. He's got that one fungal here in the chamber. Doesn't throw it down. But you can see much more decisive defense this time from SHIN with those fungals. But he's still only got 2 infestors. So not much to work with. From here, SHIN can now take a 5th expansion, taking up into a Hive. Now SHIN can embrace Ultras. This time with upgrades, I'm sure. And speaking of, there it is, Ultra Caverns on the way. So SHIN is playing very similar to last game, except, again, taking extra steps of precaution. Oh, massive fungal does connect once again! Oh my god! Yeah, very nice fungal from SHIN. Pulls away, catching at the bio. ByuN taking his own gold. And SHIN has maxed out. Does he try and punish this gold base? I mean, SHIN, he's still a ways away from Ultra Tech. I mean, he still has to wait for the upgrades, for Kindness Plating. But he is maxed. He has to do something with this army. He cannot just allow ByuN to max out himself. Does scout. Oh, the balls! Oh my god. Almost. Appreciate the try there out of SHIN. Doesn't quite catch the medevac. ByuN just fortifying himself. More tanks, more CCs, turrets. Turtling up. Does land the fungal, takes down the medevac. Good cleanup. Now, despite this tank line, I do think the mineral line is a little bit exposed. In saying that, there's no planetary, which means that ByuN can lift. He can save the base. I'm sure very intentional. SHIN is looking for another way in. Oh, that's what? That's 7 tanks. Jesus. SHIN does catch out the medevac. Not bad. Another medevac goes down. Spire's on the way. Ultra upgrades as well. SHIN, his goal here may be not to actually break the 4th, but wait for the 5th. And speaking of 5th base now being taken. It's going to be on SHIN to try to punish this. Instead, does go for the gold. Waiting to roll in. CC lifts up. ByuN defense. Leading out to 8 SCVs. I mean, that was a decent run by there from SHIN. He was able to get some damage, at least some. But the 5th base is getting up. Just a wall of CCs on the way. That was a kill, not a cancel. Hatchery went down. Can SHIN break this? Now he does have Vipers. Does have Lightning Clouds. Gonna push in. Gets the 1 tank for now. Pulls away. Doesn't commit. It's really careful play here out of SHIN. I mean, again, he's getting ready for Broodlords. Greater Spire, 2nd Spire's on the way. Double expanding, taking more bases. Spreading creep. And SHIN just unable to punish this expansion. That means that ByuN is maxing out. Files they miss. They didn't quite connect. Fogu going for the medevacs. Ooh. 3 medevacs go down, not bad. As the ghosts do get caught out, Link Bane doesn't quite commit either. Well, some decent trades here by SHIN. Decent trades overall. SHIN able to pick up a tank here and there, medevacs, liberators. For a relatively cheap army. Bait ByuN here onto creep. So far unable to. Corruptor production has begun. That's 9 corruptors on the way. And there should be for Broodlords. Now, ByuN, he's already got a very high ghost count, so he's already somewhat ready for this. He scans, he confirms the Greater Spire, the 2nd Spire as well. That can prompt more anti-air. I was going to say Vikings, instead Thors. I mean, may as well. Thor production has begun. ByuN is getting ready for the Broods. So it's no longer going to be a surprise factor. ByuN double expanding. Once again, SHIN cannot allow these bases to get up. Tank. Tank barely survives. Decent fungal. Follow up there. There's still 2 fungals left. Broodlord production has begun. Scan reveals the Broodlords. That. Let's push forward. Signs of brutal. 2 brutals go down. Bit of trade for ByuN. And here comes the Link Bane. Oh. SHIN doesn't pull the trigger. Not until now. ByuN bleeding out a good chunk of ghosts, but still not enough. ByuN is holding on. SHIN, he throws away most of his ground army. Now replacing it with 10 more Corruptors, more Broodlords. Switching hard here into Broodlord Infestor. I would like to see Vikings out of ByuN. That's something that we are missing. The ghost count is being thinned out. And does SHIN have enough? Takes out most of the ghosts, but doesn't gain ground. ByuN is holding on. Getting into the Broodlords. Nice fungal. But the follow-up isn't there. ByuN survives the fungal, pushes forward, snipes going off. And ByuN may just have too much. Yeah, the Broodlords are barely not finishing in time. So many of them go down. But they do reinforce with Lings. Ghost getting caught out. Has ByuN overextended. The Ling flood. The Ling reinforcements. Takes out the Thors. Takes out the Ghost. Not bad. A much more efficient trade for SHIN, trading minerals, but something that was happening throughout all of that, the snipes. The snipes are going off. Only 2 Broodlords left. How many Broodlords went down? That was 13 Broodlords falling. Oh my god. Mainly to snipes. 13 Broodlord kills. ByuN did get another base up and running. ByuN with a better economy, knocking down another hatchery. And SHIN, he needs more time to rebuild. He has to restart his Broodlords from scratch. Another expansion on the way. A bit of a missed rally here out of ByuN, so not a bad catch. Getting even more ghosts. Oh my god! That's what? 4 ghosts going down. Bit of miscontrol there by ByuN. SHIN rebuilding his Broodlord count. Getting up to 13 Broodlords. SHIN is still in this. Does have his Broodlord Infestor. Even switching into Ling Hydra. Interesting. As ByuN being very adventurous, losing all of his ghosts. Oh my god! ByuN, what are we doing here? A lot of ghosts going down. Very adventurous. He did get 1 EMP, actually, a couple of EMPs. But that I'm not sure was worth it. Now there are no ghosts. Thors are going down. He gets 1, he gets 2, he gets 3. 3 ghosts full. Medevac will save 1 at least. And SHIN gets a base. Does get the planetary. ByuN at the same time moving out with a mech-based army, Hellbat tank. Broodlords are racing back home. The ghost count down to 6. Barely any ghosts. So, bit of an odd move there by ByuN. Is going to get surrounded. Tank's going to be cleaned up. Yeah, there's no saving them. Now ByuN does get the Greater Spire. Not bad. Not a bad pickup. Does get an expansion. Well, that's still, what, 13 Broodlords? And ByuN just may have lost too much. Fester's coming in, going for the fungals. Catches another ghost. And SHIN can just keep pushing. He should keep pushing. Reinforcing with Ling Hydra. Fungal on the Vikings. 4 ghosts left. And again, this is all off the back of ByuN losing all of his ghosts earlier. In a wild move. It was all of his ghosts and 2 Thors. And SHIN is just snowballing out of control from here, getting onto the planetary. Planetary goes down. 10 SCVs, the mules. SHIN playing it safe, backing up for now. Does pull away. ByuN still has a comparable army size, but again, he lost so much ground there. And SHIN rotates to go for the gold. To go for the left-hand side. Go based on the fire. Ghost trying to come in for a flank. Vikings go down. Here come the snipes. They get one, they get two. You get two Broodlords. Once again, the ghosts overextending. Two ghosts go down. We'll see if ByuN can take the fight. Here come the Neurals! And Neurals on the Thors. SHIN holds his own. Forces back the army. Takes down another Thor. Neurals are running out. Oof. A lot of Broodlords actually fall here to those Thors. But it looks like SHIN, does he have enough? It's still so close. He's so close to breaking ByuN, but it looks like ByuN he holds. Does barely hold on with those Thors. SHIN has to retreat. I believe SHIN lost all of his infestors. Okay, so that's three. So that's three infestors under this. Another base saturated. More infestors on the way for those Neurals. Takes down a CC. ByuN does establish a mining base on the right hand side. It's a fresh mining base as well. So economically, ByuN is still in this. Still in this game. Rotating around. Snipes. Oh! Oh my god, not quite getting another Broodlord. A Swarm Host! That I was not quite expecting. Okay. Swarm Hosts have arrived. Local save going up. But ByuN does scout it, does spot it. You see SHIN going for the dive. Can he fungal the army? Not quite. Local save comes in. Gets not a single unit. Thors do survive. Again, a low eco situation does make sense here for SHIN. Go for something like Swarm Host. Or brutally EMPs. ByuN pushing forward. Local save is almost ready. Another EMP connects. Oh my god, no more fungals. No Neurals either. The base goes down. SHIN gonna try and collapse in. And it looks like SHIN, he will at least threaten the Thors. The Thors are going down just barely. Takes out most of the Thors, but he's pushing into tank range. And SHIN overextends. Losing so many Hydras to those tanks. It's almost in already. GG gets called. ByuN, he bounces back. He fights back despite losing all those ghosts. ByuN, he will take the series 2-0. GG. Whew. GG, well played. ByuN, he was able to sneak out another planetary on the right hand side. ByuN, he still maintained a better economy than SHIN, and with that was able to snowball out of control by rebuilding, able to keep up with his own losses. SHIN less so. SHIN went for a bold move going into the Swarm Host. There was potential. Unfortunately, despite, I do think that SHIN could have taken that fight towards the end if it wasn't for the EMPs. Every single infestor got EMP. There were like, what, 6 infestors, and there was not a single fungal, not a single neural either. There couldn't be because of the EMPs leading up to the fight. And with that, ByuN did take it. GG. GG, well played. ByuN gets his revenge. A couple of weeks ago, SHIN may have 3-0'd ByuN, but now ByuN gets a 2-0 over SHIN. GG. GG, well played. ByuN will advance on to the grand finals where he is waiting for his next opponent. On top of that, one moment here.